Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this video we're going to draw a crow. And I thought it was a nice idea to put a golden ring in his mouth. So extra attention will not be only spent on how to draw the black feathers, but also how to draw a shiny golden ring. Here I was already doodling around, and I was drawing a little bit on brownish paper. And what stands out is the beak, and I thought, well, why not make it more interesting and draw in a little golden ring. So that's what we're going to draw for this tutorial. Here's a pre-study, and you can see that I was looking how I can make the ring hang from the beak and how the shine of the golden ring and the eye will match together. What we're going to use for this tutorial is of course a black color pencil, an ochre, yellow, light yellow and darker yellow, a white coloring pencil, and for the setup I use a simple 2B. Finishing touch will be with gray and blue. For the background we are going to use two colors of pastel, I should say. As I was saying, we will start out with a simple 2B graphite pencil, and I start out with the beak, the top beak, and the top of the head. Then I ease down to below, and I already put in a little bit of the form of the body. As I was saying, the beak must be a little bit open for the ring to fit in. Then from the lower beak I head down, and the body is slightly turning towards us. Then I already place in where the eye is going to be. On the side of the head, the feathers are a bit more rough in comparison to the little feathers on top of the head. I'll place it a little bit lower. Okay, now I draw in the lines of the way that the feathers move around the body. Here, on top of the back, the feathers are packed together, and here I place in the line for where the tip of the wing will be. The feathers on top of the beak are slightly covering the top beak. Once you have the first lines, I already pull out my white pencil. I use that white pencil for the high shine on this dark bird. I also use it for the shine in the eyes. The feathers of a crow, even though they are black, they catch a lot of light. So what I'm figuring out now is the way that the light hits the dark bird and the way that the shine will lay on the greasy feathers. Ravens and crows really have those greasy feathers. So even though they are black, there's a lot of white going on. I also draw in the inside of the top beak. This is where the pupil will be. In this early stage, I already draw in the golden ring. You simply have to draw an ellipse and the thickness of the ring itself. Once you have the ring standing in, you can erase the little lines of the beak, because they cannot shine through the golden ring. Let me zoom in for you now. I've pulled out the black color pencil. The way that the feathers are going, I simply can place dark lines between the white lines. All the way I try to keep track of the way that the feathers move around the body. In the robe of the crow, there are all kinds of feathers going on. Feathers that are bigger, feathers that are smaller or more packed together, and I try to keep notice of it. You can see that the feathers on the back of the crow are different from the ones that are on the breast. I also spare out a little bit for the breast part where the light will shine later on. You can see that I slowly go darker and darker. Because there it can be really dark. Then, once you have these lines standing, you can take your gray pencil, coloring pencil, and then place those between the whites and the black. use that gray coloring pencil for the beak. And as I was saying, even though a crow or a raven is all black, there's also a lot of gray and white. That's the way you can make the feathers stand out. For the eye itself, I use a little bit of ochre. And then for the little edges around the eye and the pupil, I use the black coloring pencil again. Now you can see that the eye pops out even better. You can also use a little bit of ochre for the beak. Once you have your grays and your blacks standing, you can always place in a little bit of more shine. I simply do this with the white pencil again. I imagine the light is coming from the front, slightly from the left front. So I simply shade in as you like the whites and the light that hit the dark feathers. Now it's time for the golden ring. First I erase the fatness of the graphite pencil. It can pollute and it can mix up with the color pencils. And for the complete set in, I use the light ochre. Then I take the gray pencil again. I use the gray for the inside of the ring where there's a lot of shadow. I also use the gray pencil next to the highest high shines on the gold on the front of the ring. There's also a little bit of light on the inside of the ring. Once you've set that in, I take a filling pencil, but you can also use a very sharpened graphite pencil. That's just the same. I use that for the edges on the highlights, the highest shine of the golden ring. That will make the shine pop out even more. I also use it for the edges. What you have to make sure of is that the beak and the ring are divided from each other. So I place a little bit of shadow on the lowest line of the the coloring black pencil again. Maybe you want your crow or raven, if you like, to be blacker. That's no problem. I've chosen for a lot of white in those feathers. But you can make them as dark as you want, of course. As long as you keep in mind that there is white in the black. To make the black look even more shiny, I use a dark blue. I just place some lines over my already drawing, just to give it a extra dimension and to give it that blue shadow. And I only use the blue on the feather. Now that my drawing is about as I like it, I always go over it with the white again. For the ring, you can choose a yellowish, more or less yellow, but do not make it all too yellow. Also, do not make the edges all black of the ring, because it will flatten again. Only use a little bit of edges here and there. Here I place a dark line just on the right side of the ring, so not all the way around. Now it's time for the pastel, and I start out with a light ochre. I want to put in a little bit of background to lift the bird even more off the paper. The beauty part of working with pastel and colored pencil is that the pastel will not go on to the greasy color pencil. It will only attach to the paper that has not been used yet, that has not been drawn in. It really grabs on there, and it will not grab on to the color greasy drawing part. If your drawing gets a little bit blurry, you can always take it out a little bit with your sharp graphite pencil. Then I take a very light purple. I use this for the low part of the background. You can easily smooth the two colors together. I really love this study. It really makes the bird pop out in front. And you can always make as much as background as you want, because you can always go with a color pencil over your pastel. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and of course that you will also be successful in this drawing. This is for so far. All the luck with it, and take care. See you in one of my next movies.